Well, I mean, I didn't really start saying no to much of anything until I got to prison, and
What?
you have to stand up. I mean, you have to say no when you're there, or you're going to have people running all over you. But and it's respected when you stand up for yourself and you say no.
So the first time since
Wait,
you
wait, 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 wait. Hold up. Miss Cheryl said she didn't start until she went to prison. You went to prison?
Yes,
Girl, what you go to prison for?
In
I
your
killed my
mind or the
husband.
four walls?
go ahead and tell them your story, Cheryl.
Yeah, my not the one that I married when I didn't want to, but the one who saved me from him, my hero, my knight in shining armor, that I married after 6 months together. He ended up being abusive too, and attacked our 3 year old one night, and I tried to get the kids and leave, and he tried to stop us, and I shot him, and he died. And then I 3 years later, I went to prison for it.
And how long did you serve?
4.5.
4.5 years.
Wow.
And so your first, and again, I'm not going to just brush past that because
Mhm.
that in itself,
That could be a whole show.
yes, that in itself is traumatic.
Yeah.
That in itself, it's not something that you ever recover, and it still affects your life to this day.
Yes, it
Mhm.
does.
And that everybody doesn't know it, and for those that don't know it, Cheryl is a survivor, and that is another reason why I absolutely love her because her spirit is so real and she's so genuine
Mhm.
about her walk and her experience in life. And we're going to deal with that a little more. But when you started to say yes in prison, and I want to go back to that, you're in prison, and the first time you had to say yes or you had to say no, what was that for? And what was that like? What was going on?
Well, it's just like you get your tray, and someone wants your cake. I mean, something that simple. Your tray of food, and
Mhm.
I mean the food is not great. And
Mhm.
well, at the county jail,
Mhm.
not. But
But it's still your food.
it's your food, and you have to. It's all you have, and that's what you have to eat to survive. But somebody else wants it, and you say no. And normally, used to, I would have just, if somebody asked me for something, I would have given it to them. And it's not that they needed it because they had their own.
So
It's
you literally had to tell them, no, you're not getting my food.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
in,
just
in
something as
prison, they
simple as
not
take
actually
a bag.
asking you for your food.
They taking it.
Right.
So they didn't ask you, Cheryl, what did they
No,
do?
they're
I guess
not
Well,
asking.
no, it's well, telling you give me
Yeah.
give me that cake, and you say no,
were
because
Mhm.
you
otherwise they'll.
petrified? Were
And
you
if it's
scared?
somebody that's hungry and they don't have food, then sure, I will share my food. But if you've got the exact same thing I've got,
Mhm.
then I don't need to give you mine.
Were
Yeah.
you afraid were
Mm,
you afraid when they
I
asked?
I wasn't really. I
Oh, so
I
you
had
you ain't a
this.
scary woman. Okay.
Well, I prayed a lot. I prayed for peace, and
Right.
I just I felt peace. I felt safe.
Okay.
Well, you had to make talking about being comfortable and making a decision. You saying that your deceased husband, I'm not even calling him your husband at this point. The deceased guy that you were married to was attempt to attack your 3-year-old son. You say
He was hurting our 3 year old. Yes.
three? Yes, a 3-year-old. So you are very qualified for this conversation, should we say?
Yes.
Uh, used to say yes. You probably allow some things to happen time and time again, but at this point, I'm saying no.
Enough is enough.
Enough
Yeah.
is enough,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and I'm finna put my foot down. But in your case, you put the bullet down. But I don't mean to
I
make light of
I
what you've
know.
done,
Yeah.
but
I
I do bring humor to the show,
Yeah.
and I try to add a little humor to even to life's most critical
Yes.
conditions.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, so you put the bullet down on him, and
Yeah.
then he's gone. So you had to make that decision. And
He
sometimes
is.
we're gonna be facing, and I'm talking to the people that are listening. We're gonna be faced with obstacles in life sometimes, and sometimes they are very, very dramatic and
And difficult.
difficult decisions to make. It had to be very difficult to even pick the gun up,
Cheryl,
and
had
let
you,
alone to pull the trigger.
let me ask you a
Right.
question, Cheryl, and anybody
So,
can jump in on that. When you get to a point that you're saying that, and that was so profound what you're saying, Lawrence, on that, Brother Carter. Uh, when you got to a point that you had to say no, enough is enough. Had you been going through um, abuse for a while, or was it just something he would do to the children?
Well, it had been me, and it had only been me. But when it extended to the children, that's when I said no.